Aquarius workshop, being in the eternal now. I start with a quote from Password Lecture 215. Being in the now point means being completely in the now. Only when you are in the eternal now are you truly in bliss. Are you truly safe, secure, fearless, and absolutely certain, not as a wishful thinking, but as absolute, realistic, justified inner certainty, as a fact of the beautiful meaning of life that is a continuum, that does not stop merely because certain momentary manifestations seem to stop. End of quote. Password Lecture 215 about physics, nuclear points. An emotionally mature person is in connection with the true self and has found the source of the inner wells. As a result of his identification with the true self, he lives in the eternal now, in reality, and in the flow of time. Every split second is a unique moment that will never come back. It is our choice to accept the now or to fight against it. When we fight against the now, we fight against life as well as against ourselves, and that distorts the life force into a compelling stream of negative feelings and experiences. When we accept the eternal now, the life force flows unimpeded and we are connected with the true self in love and truth. For the true self, the life force, and the eternal now are one. This sense of eternity is the true bliss. As a result of self-alienation, we create a false reality from the pursuit of the fulfillment of the blissful now. This spurious search for eternal now is a violation because we want something without paying the price. In three ways, namely displacement, projection, and negation of our feelings, we lose the eternal now in every little moment of thinking, wanting, feeling, and experiencing. We live in a self-created world that has nothing to do with reality, making us totally unaware of every tiniest point now. It is important to understand that misery and trouble are never caused by the events we fear, but only through our immature attitude with which we fight or flee from the now, in the illusion that we can avoid something unpleasant, because we refuse to accept the self-created situation. In this workshop you will explore, with a loving curiosity, using 3 themes from the Password Lectures, how we can be in the eternal now through genuine growth. The first theme, facing yourself now. Self-alienation from our feelings prevents us from being in the eternal now. By reaching for the future or by withdrawing into the past, we live in illusion and fantasy. These two contradictory soul movements, which flee the now and stagnate the growth and unfoldment of our soul, often take place simultaneously. When we live in the now, we live in the reality of the truth of who we are now, what we feel, think, want, and experience now. Now follows a quote from Password Lecture 123. If you look at your desires and fears, your needs, your apprehensions and reactions, right or wrong, at this moment, at each moment, then you find into the eternal now. In it, you can live fearlessly with a rightful confidence in the unknown. You do not have to become perfect. You are perfect, in a sense, when you can calmly face, acknowledge, and in full understanding come to terms with your present imperfections. End quote, Password Lecture 123. The second theme, truly understanding yourself as you are now. As long as we are engaged in a battle through misconceptions and delusions, we are separated from the true self. Caught in this battle, we even experience resistance to asking the true self for help. We influence ourselves constructively by understanding how the misconceptions and delusions are false and what the truth is. How unhappy, confused, or desperate we feel now, it is always possible to find the truth behind it. Only truth is love and happiness. Now follows a quote from Password Lecture 131. If you truly understand yourself in relationship to this very moment, the momentary unhappiness notwithstanding, you must be happy. In other words, and this may sound like a contradiction, but it is not, no matter how unhappy you are now, by understanding this now, you must be happy. And no matter how favorable circumstances are, and no matter how happy you may think you are at this moment, if you do not fully live in this moment and understand it in relationship to you, you cannot be fully happy. And from quote from Password Lecture 131. The last and third theme, fulfilling your task now. Our task on earth is to turn us inward to the true self and consists of the work of exploring, of seeking and finding, of learning and growing, of changing and purifying, of going through all the pain and all the evil that we ourselves have created. When we feel the pain of our illusions, our guilt and our undeveloped side, this pain will turn into energy, light, hope, joy, peace, love, and the beauty of the true self. The last quote comes from Password Lecture 215. There is only one safe and secure way to attain the blissful now point, the revelation of reality in its unlimited dimensions, and that is by fulfilling the task for which you have come. Only a path such as this can help you do so. You must learn to go through your pain, the pain of your illusions, of your guilt, of your undeveloped side. Ultimately, this is what it is all amounts to. And from Password Lecture to 15. For more information, look on my website Aquarius Mens. I wish you peace and all the best. Thank you.